My name is Tony Huerta Apanco, and I am teaching at a technical and vocational school in Sušice, Czech Republic. There are a bunch of different disciplines in my school, those that include hairdressing, mechanics, electricians, social work, tourism, so a variety of things. Living in a small town was something that I was kind of ready for. I grew up in a small town in Minnesota, and it was about 18,000. Sušice is about 11,000, so relatively the same. I think one of the best things about living in a small town is it's so familiar that even if you don't speak the language, which was one of my concerns coming in, if you go to things repeatedly, people are going to eventually know your order at a coffee shop, or even to this day, people will come up to me and they'll be like, "Topinka," because they know I already want to eat that. So I think it creates the familiarity, right, that people see you all the time. But I think my town specifically, getting to walk along the river and go to, I don't know, soccer field when there's games and things like that, kind of encourages you to do that almost daily. And it was one of the ways that I got kind of more involved in my community as well. Something that I'm very, very grateful for throughout this entire experience has been the time that I have had to reflect, because I feel like I've grown as an individual throughout my experience, and there are many different ways that I did that. So I would highly recommend bringing books, journaling. That's one of the best things that you can do. But I think for me, it was getting out and being with nature. I think that was something that I lacked growing up, and I think it's been so therapeutic for me to just go out and walk, whether that's with music, whether that's just with my thoughts, and that has helped me just in so many ways realize what I really value in life as a whole, which is kind of, I don't know, I'm very thankful for that for sure, but also seeing how it's beneficial to my students as well, and how they're more relaxed if you take them out of the school environment. So I found myself, now that it's getting nicer, walking with my students and seeing how comfortable they can be in the language. And I think that's just that's one of the best things that I've done here, is getting out and walking. It's funny, I just got asked that question by my mentor recently, which was whether or not I was happy with Sušice, and that literally happened 2 days ago. And my response was immediate, and it was, of course. I have taken this experience, I've grabbed it and I've held on to it, and I'm not ready to let go. But I need to, because it's ending soon. I have done everything that I've needed to make and develop relationships that I would have never imagined having in another country. And what I mean by that is I have been so open to meeting people and not letting the language barrier impact that or stop me from doing that. And that's a lesson that I brought with me from my parents. My parents have always been open to communicate with people, and it pushes me to communicate with people even more. But I have these relationships now that these people are inviting me to take me to the national park in Sušice. They're inviting me to dinner at their houses. They're inviting me now to go to their gardens because it's nice. And I was recently telling someone that I felt settled here 2 weekends ago when I went to a garden, and I volunteered, surprisingly, to mow the lawn, which might not sound super exciting or something that you would want to do, but by mowing the lawn, I felt like a local. I felt like someone who honestly had been living and doing everyday life like every other Czech person, and it felt like home. I have been in different places throughout my life in academic settings, institutions, and not once have I called my dorm or my campus a home. But every time that I've talked to someone here in the Czech Republic or in Sušice, I say that I'm going home. And I think that speaks to my relationship with my town and with the country.